This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
(8:45). This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Indrani Senanayake. The headlines. The Tourism Minister says that if the Prime Minister did not take over the government amidst this severe challenge, then there would have been an unfavourable situation. India donates 3.3 tons of essential medical supplies to the 1990 Suvasaria ambulance service. The Navy contingent leaves the island for RIMPAC 2022. There is an increase of dengue cases due to the southwest monsoonal rains. And in news from overseas, Iran's Khamenei accuses enemy of stirring up protests. Minister Harin Fernando says that a program has been planned to link several fuel filling stations in order to solve the fuel crisis that has affected the tourism sector. A discussion in this regard is to be held with the Ministry of Power and Energy. The target is to increase the tourism arrivals from India, Russia and the Middle Eastern countries. He also reiterated that $1.8 billion is needed to tide over the next 3 months. He stated that if Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe did not take over the government amidst this severe challenge, then there would have been an unfavourable situation in the country. Indian High Commissioner Gopal Bagle yesterday handed over 3.3 tons of essential medical supplies donated by the Government of India for the 1990 Suvasaria ambulance service to the Suvasaria Foundation. Chairman Duminder Ratnayake, in the gracious presence of Parliament member Dr. Harsha De Silva and Suvasaria Foundation CEO Sohan De Silva, External Affairs Minister D.S. Jaishankar was apprised of the looming shortage of medical supplies faced by the foundation during his visit to the Suvasaria headquarters in Colombo in March this year. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
The medical insurance plan that begins at the age of 60. Medi60 from Sri Lanka Insurance.
We continue with local news. The Sri Lanka Navy exercise 2022 hosted by the US Pacific Fleet left for Australia from the Bandaranaike International Airport this morning by a special flight arranged by the Royal Australian Air Force. The SLN contingent comprises of 50 naval personnel, including both officers and sailors. In Australia, the SLN contingent will partner with crews of HMAS Canberra of the Royal Australian Navy for a 2 weeks acclimatisation program, and the SLN contingent will subsequently leave for the Hawaiian Islands and Southern California. The police headquarters has identified 5,221 vehicles that had repeatedly obtained fuel from several filling stations in a short period of time within the same day. The vehicles have been identified through the Fuel IMC, a mobile phone app that was introduced for this purpose. Police media spokesman SSP Nihal Taldua said an investigation is being carried out into the fuel purchases and hoarding of fuel by some consumers. The new app is used by 1,420 filling stations across the country. After the introduction of the mobile app, a reduction in repeated refueling of a single vehicle has been observed, the police media spokesman said. To end this bulletin, that ends this bulletin of world news. Next we take a look at the main news story.
The medical insurance plan that begins at the age of 60. Medi60 from Sri Lanka Insurance. A health insurance plan to honor our most valued elders by the protectors of the nation. We now give our treasured senior citizens access to the very best medical insurance, specially tailored for anyone over 60. What's more, you don't need medical screening to access this policy. And Medi60 covers a wide range of illnesses. Only from Sri Lanka Insurance. Call 0112 357 357.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhaloka Vedamahatmya.
There is an increase of dengue cases with the southwest monsoonal rains. Disaster Management Centre Director General Major General Sudhanta Ranasinghe said. Addressing a press conference at the Government Information Department yesterday, he requested for public support to control the spread of dengue by destroying mosquito breeding places. The National Dengue Control Unit of the Health Ministry said that 24,523 suspected dengue cases have been reported in the country so far this year, and of them, 6,483 cases were reported in May. The number of suspected dengue cases reported on the 1st of June stood at 313.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhaloka Vedamahatmya.
On to Watchlight. Laughs Gas plc says it expects to release domestic LP gas cylinders to the market from next week. A spokesperson of the company also noted that the price of an LP gas cylinder is likely to undergo an increase. Accordingly, the price of a 12.5 kilogram cylinder will soar to over 6,000 rupees. Meanwhile, Litrogas Lanka, the primary LP gas suppliers in Sri Lanka, said its new shipment of 2,500 metric tons of LP gas is reaching the island tomorrow. The company requested the general public not to wait in queues for the time being, as its distribution process is expected to resume on Tuesday. World News headlines. Iran's Khamenei accuses enemy of stirring up protests. Platinum Jubilee festivities to continue with party at the palace. Russia steps up offensive in 2 eastern regions in Ukraine. Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, has accused enemies of Iran of stirring up unrest to try to overthrow the Islamic Republic. He said those who opposed Iran hope to use protests to strike a blow at the country. His comments came after several weeks of demonstrations in cities over the rising cost of basic foods. A deadly building collapse in the south last month sparked further protests blaming authorities for the incident. The Ayatollah has long insisted that U.S. sanctions are to blame for the soaring prices of basic foods in the country. Diana Ross and George Ezra will headline a star-studded concert at Buckingham Palace, marking the Queen's 70th year on the throne later. The party at the palace this evening will also see Prince Charles and Prince William making speeches to pay tribute to the Queen. Members of the royal family are taking part in celebrations around the UK today with visits to the nations. The Queen has been experiencing mobility problems in recent months, and the palace has warned in advance that the monarch will consider which Jubilee events she felt able to attend. Russian forces are stepping up their offensive in eastern Ukraine with air raids, aiming to take full control of the Donetsk and Luhansk regions, while Ukrainian forces put up a fierce fight. In Luhansk, Russian forces appear to have taken control most of Severodonetsk, which is said to be Ukraine's last stronghold in the region. Luhansk governor said in a social media post yesterday that Ukrainian forces had taken back about 20% of Severodonetsk. But today, he said Russian forces continue to attack the city, and fighting prevented food and medical supplies from being delivered to its citizens. To end this bulletin of world news, the headlines again. Iran's Khamenei accuses enemy of stirring up protests. Platinum Jubilee festivities to continue with party at the palace. Russia steps up offensive in 2 eastern regions in Ukraine. That ends this bulletin of world news. On to development news. The Mahanayaka Thera of the Malwatu chapter, the most venerable Tibbatuwave Sri Siddhartha Thera, says that a cultivation program has been launched in every vihara. The aim of this program is to provide solutions for the critical food crisis being experienced across the country. That was development news.
Sports news is brought to you by
Sampath Bank. We present your future.
The Sri Lanka cricket series between Sri Lanka A and Australia A will commence on Tuesday. The tickets for the upcoming matches between Sri Lanka and Australia can be purchased from 9:30 a.m. at the Sri Lanka Cricket Headquarters at the Pallekele International Cricket Stadium from the 8th of June and at the Galle International Cricket Stadium from the 26th of June. Tickets can also be purchased online at www.srilankacricket.lk. Meanwhile, SLC already decided to open gates free of charge for the Sri Lanka A and Australia A matches. The two ODIs of the A teams will be held on the 8th and 10th of June at the SSC grounds, followed by two 4-day games at the Mahinda Rajapaksa International Cricket Stadium in Hambantota.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The Ceylon Association of Shipping Agents donated 100 push cycles to the Sri Lanka Ports Authority to be used in a new cycle lane that is being constructed for port employees and port users to use these bicycles to keep them more active and healthy. These cycles can be used by any employee or regular port service user, and this is one step taken towards creating a more greener port, said its chairman, Dr. Prashantha Jayamana.
Business News, sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Economic news, courtesy of
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
Direct selling as an industry is empowering entrepreneurship across many continents in the world. Famous brands such as Tupperware and Avon have promoted successfully through direct selling operations that offered economic independence mainly to women. Tupperware parties were held in homes around the world, and Avon cosmetics were made popular through Avon ladies for generations. In Sri Lanka, empowering women who are mothers is a key area of concern for Global Lifestyle Lanka, GLL, Sri Lanka's leading direct selling organization. Economic independence and being able to provide for families remain a priority for mothers who value the business model of entrepreneurship and flexible working hours, thus enabling them to manage their homes as well as the business.
LOLC Finance is taking the power of innovation to the next level, winning 5 golds at the Technovation Awards 2022, leading the digital revolution with cutting-edge interbanking digital payments. LOLC Finance claims the overall gold award, whilst also claiming an extraordinary victory in digital banking. LOLC Finance will continue to innovate with the next generation digitalization of financial services, delivering a superior customer experience.
And finally, we take a look at the weather report. The Met Department says that showers or thundershowers will occur at times in the western and Sabaragamuwa provinces and in the Kandy, Nuwara Eliya, Galle and Matara districts. Several spells of showers will occur in the northwestern province. Showers or thundershowers will occur at a few places in the Uva province and in the Ampara district during the evening or at night. To end tonight's news broadcast,